I'm ready.
Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Afternoon, evening, everyone. This is another edition of the Walker Roundtable. My name, again, is RJ. I'm happy to be here and be blessed with my father and my two brothers. So, that being said, everyone go around and introduce themselves. Scoosh?
I'm Jeff Walker Sr., Papa J.
I am Jeffrey Jr., Bobby.
And I'm Justin.
So, we have Scoosh, Book, and Bear. Bear, what do we have on the docket for tonight?
So our topic is we're each going to choose an actor and debate what we think is their top five films. And we're each going to argue back and forth whether or not those movies are in fact supposed to be in their top five or if they aren't supposed to be in their top five. So we each got an actor. We decide what's their top five films, and we go back and forth as to what should be on that list.
Why don't you go first, Justin? So,
Sure. So I got the luck of the draw. I got Will Smith. So Will Smith, in my opinion, is arguably the greatest black actor to ever live, or the biggest action star to ever do it. And my top five for him is one, Bad Boys One. That's number one. I don't think there is any other Will Smith movie that has been done better. I feel like Bad Boys, the first one, is the perfect action movie. I feel like it is the best buddy cop film that has ever been made. Like a lot of people like to make the argument for Bad Boys 2, because a lot of people think that it has more action in it. Like to me, Bad Boys 1 is the best film that Will Smith has ever made. If you as far as like all encompassing action, as far as his character Mike Lowry, I feel like Mike Lowry is basically Will Smith's alter ego.
Not
Um,
lie.
because like if there was an alter ego for Will Smith, like a lot of people think it might be like the Fresh Prince, like Will Smith and the Fresh Prince, him as a rapper. But I feel like his alter ego is Mike Lowry. Like if it isn't Will Smith, he's Mike Lowry to me. And I feel like Bad Boys One captures that spirit and that essence of like that character the best. So Bad Boys One is my favorite Will Smith film. I feel like it goes on the top of the list. Number two is Ali. Ali to me is the best, one of the best sports dramas to ever be made. I feel like Ali was a great depiction of Muhammad Ali and how he had his ups and his downs, his struggles with um, being a black fighter and being a religious man, and in him going through the civil rights era at the same time, and him trying to uh, battle things like going to prison, losing his boxing license, and all of these struggles that he had to deal with. The death of Malcolm X, one of his personal best friends. Like all of these things, Will Smith captured perfectly, I feel, on film. And to be in the shape that he had to get into in order to depict Ali, I feel like was phenomenal, and I feel like he pulled it off very well. And I think Ali is one of the best boxing films to ever be made. So that's number two for me. Number three is Independence Day. Independence Day is a great blockbuster film. I feel like it's one of those unbeatable like summer blockbusters that you can watch any day. Um, and I feel like Independence Day didn't need a sequel. It's kind of like Coming to America. It was one of those movies that was great enough on its own that it didn't need a follow-up. Um, and Will Smith, I feel like was again, what was his character's name? I forget his character's name in that movie, but
He was the captain, he was the
I
captain.
think his name was like Hiller or Miller or something like that. Um, something like Stephen Miller, or something like that was his character. But that movie was great. It was awesome, and I feel like that type of movie is kind of like a lost art. Like for some reason, you don't get that same summer blockbuster, bring a crowd to a movie type of film like that. In my opinion, since I don't think that I've had that feeling since I've seen like Top Gun, the new Top Gun movie.
Well, here, let me say this though, real quick. That movie though, I think it was you didn't have a clear star, like
Mm,
because you got to remember he wasn't, even though he's the name you remember. It was Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. They were like
Hmm.
co-stars in that movie from two opposite ends. He was
Yeah.
the captain of the Air Force, and then Jeff Goldblum was like the intelligence officer that worked for the government, and from the inside. And then you had the president was like another small, like a smaller level co-star, but they
Hmm.
shared the time on the screen. And
Yeah.
the levels were really good, and I like the fact. I mean, that was like one of the first big animated movies, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Stand out.
And I feel like Independence Day should be in his top five because I feel like that was his first major breakout film ever since The Fresh Prince. Like when The Fresh Prince was done, Independence Day was I feel like the launching pad that took his career off. Um so Independence Day for me is number three. Number four is Pursuit of Happiness. I feel like Pursuit of Happiness, where he played Chris Gardner, a struggling father trying to make it, who began trying to sell like these medical scanners and then eventually found his way into becoming a stockbroker. To me is like one of the most perfect rags to riches stories to ever be told on film. And I feel like it's even it's a bonus to see that he plays the father to his own son, his real son, Jaden Smith, in this movie. So I feel like it hits even harder knowing that this is a real father and a real son on screen acting together. And to me, it's one of his best films, one of his best dramas. And like you can't help but like root for him like in this movie to see that he wins in the end, everything works out for him, as a struggling single father. So Pursuit of Happiness to me is one of his best films that goes at number four. And number
Wait,
five,
wait, Justin, you remember when he was running up those hills with that big old medical device thing that he was trying to sell?
yeah,
I was in San Francisco, man. I know he was. That's what I
like,
remember about that movie, him running a lot and carrying that briefcase. Okay.
yeah.
He was running like this. Oh, that's how Will Smith
Like
run.
he was running because like he saw some
He
folks
was hustling.
who had stolen big machines and he was trying to chase them down.
He
But
Hmm.
run like
yeah.
he run like Bobby. Don't Bobby run like this.
Running after you. Yeah.
No, but Pursuit of Happiness is number four for me. And like number five for me is probably the one where people are gonna debate because I think a lot of people could put uh many different things in this spot, but to me this is my favorite, my personal top five. So I'm gonna put Focus at number five. A lot of people might think maybe Men in Black should be there, or maybe uh, I Am Legend should be there. But to me, it is Focus. Focus to me,
That was a good movie.
yeah.
That was a good movie. I like it. It was clever. Like
Focus to me is a great. Uh, I wouldn't even know what to classify. Would it be like crime drama, like suspense type
like
of?
it's like suspense, I would
Like
say.
a little bit of suspense, a little bit of comedy, crime thriller type of situation. And I feel like it was really slick. Like it was kind of like Will Smith's Ocean's 11 a little bit, I guess I would say.
It was a love
Um,
story too.
yeah, and a romance, like a rom-com type of feel to it. Like it's basically kind of like Hitch if he was a thief, I guess. But like it was real smooth, real slick, and I feel like it doesn't get enough attention as far as like how great it was filmed and how great good of a story it was. I mean, so like you had Will Smith. being this master thief, this master tactician at just basically stealing anything that he wants, and it was done so smoothly, in accordance or across the screen with Margot Robbie, one of the most beautiful actresses out here. And to me, it was just executed perfectly. Um, and
Who
so I
played,
feel like, huh?
who played his father in that movie? Who's the one that shot him?
I can't remember his name. I know his face, but I can't remember. I don't know his name. He was played by some like bald white guy, but I don't know his name. Um, but yeah, he was
I
he
know who.
was
I can't think of his. I see his face. I can't think of his name.
yeah. But to me, those are Will Smith's top five movies. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think there's some movies that should be in there? Do you think there's some
Oh
movies that should
yeah.
be taken off?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
what's your
Well,
thoughts on it?
I'm gonna throw this out there
Pick
because
some stuff out.
I'm not, I guess I don't know mechanically how to unwind it. But one I think you miss is iRobot. And I think
Mm-mm,
iRobot was ahead of its time and it's
mm.
coming to fruition now, like with all the stuff that you see in the marketplace. So I think iRobot was one of his best movies of all time. And I think what's the movie Gemini Man is another one that
Oh.
sticked out. And I thought that movie was amazing. But that's just me. Go ahead, Bobby.
So Bad Boys 1 was a great movie, right? But thinking back, I feel like Martin was the star of that movie.
Really?
And Bad Boys 2 and the rest of them, I feel like Will started to take over. So I
I,
would
f-
put
I,
Bad
f-
Boys 2 on there. And plus, like you said, Justin, it's way more action and
I feel the
gritty
opposite.
type of action.
I really feel the opposite. I feel like Bad Boys 1 and 2 were kind of more will focused. And I feel like the second or the third and especially the fourth one was
Well,
more
the
Martin
one where
focused.
Will got shot,
Yeah.
that one he wasn't in it as much, right? Doing his normal Mike Lowry thing.
Man, but
But for me,
listen,
I would put Bad Boys 2 above Bad Boys 1.
you can't see. I think that that's a huge error, and the reason why I'll say this, I think both of them are great, but you only had the one scene where Will Smith had the time. You know how Tom Cruise in his last couple of movies he runs through the city. Like his Mission Impossible. He's like running after cars,
Hmm.
running for like 10 minutes. And in Bad Boys One, he did the dun 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 dun
They
dun
did
dun
that in
dun.
Bad Boys 2
dun. But
also.
it was the way he was chasing Boucher and them, and then they had the girl, and then it was a
Yeah.
shootout, and it
Yeah.
was just, and then they had the car,
Probably
and he was just
Russia.
jumping off the.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
it was like 10 minutes long, and the whole time I'm like, what's gonna happen? Every time I see that one scene, it's amazing. But you got to remember the start off to that scene when they came into the hotel where they just sitting there talking. Marcus's wife is mad at him, and then Julia's all disarray, and then Boucher and
Great
them they
movie.
just come in and start shooting at these guys.
First
It's
off,
like, what
it's Fouché, and Fouché
oh,
was
pardon
yes,
me.
yes. But to me, to me,
Correction.
to me though, no, I feel like he was the better villain
Oh,
in the movie. Like, because you have what was the guy? I think his name was Jordy Mola in the second one, who was playing the drug dealer.
oh yeah, Fouché was clearly the best.
He was the way better villain.
He was
How, wait,
classic
that's
classic '90s villain.
what
Oh,
movie, which movie were they in Cuba? That's number two, right?
that's number
That's
two.
number two. But Fouché
And
to me was a better villain than that guy.
He put
okay,
the
so think
pillow when he
about
made her
Guy that
mono. He
played in
pulled the pillow out.
the Jet Li movie.
Hmm?
He was the Jet Li. He played in the Jet Li movie,
Oh, Kiss of the Dragon.
Kiss of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a dangerous
Yeah.
menace killer. I like him better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a better villain to me. He's ruthless. He's more cold-blooded, don't
Mhm.
care type guy.
all right, so I'm gonna make my quick case for Bad Boys 2 because I didn't finish it. So the scene where they're fighting the Jamaicans
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
forgot that was.
inside of whatever that house was,
yeah, yeah.
and then the camera is moving through the walls.
But
Hmm.
that's yeah, they
That's
had a
dope,
couple
bro.
of those. Even with the highway scene, because it took you through the
Yeah,
highway scene too.
Yeah.
That whole shootout was like 30 minutes.
exactly. Yeah, so that's what I think of when I think of Bad Boys. All of them, like too bad. I would just group all the Bad Boys movies into
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But um, another one that I would focus up. Focus is like one of my favorite movies,
Hmm.
and I would put I Am Legend on the list.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
I
good.
really like I Am Legend, but like something about it doesn't always click for me. Like maybe it's because it's like him by himself, where it's like, it's kind of like hit like I heard somebody say I Am Legend is basically Will Smith's Castaway with Tom Hanks because it's him by himself. But like maybe that's part of the reason why I never really gravitated towards it because it's just him and the dog and like him facing these, zombie creatures. And there's really no co-star for him to like bounce back off of. Maybe that's why, it didn't really like, do anything really for me. I thought it was a great movie, but I didn't think it deserved to be top five though. Yeah.
Another way to look at it though is that he doesn't have anybody to lean on either, right? He has to carry that whole movie.
Right.
Dog. Yeah. But anyway, it's a good list. I think I would kick. Hmm, I might kick Ali off the list though.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh
no,
no.
Jamie Foxx. So Will got into great shape. It's a good movie.
Mhm.
It's not my favorite boxing movie. I got like five boxing movies that I would watch before that one again.
What's a better boxing movie than Ali?
Like so many Rocky movies. There's a lot
Oh, the
of
Creed
boxing
movies.
movies.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
Yeah,
Creed
there's a
movies
lot of
do. Hey,
boxing
hey,
movies.
yeah.
Creed 3 with Jonathan Majors and
Yeah.
Michael B.
Yeah.
Man, that movie.
Creed 2 is my favorite.
Oh man, when Jonathan Majors when he come out, he, my boy Jonathan Majors came out slug like he was like can't wait for
Nah,
the
but Will
No.
Smith is he got a huge list on IMDb. And then
Yeah.
would you change anything on the Justice list?
Nah, I like Justin's list. Will Smith, he is a great action, star. I like all of his stuff. I mean, I just, I got all of his stuff. Anything that Will Smith has put out in the movies, I got it. Um, I can't pick a favorite. I think Focus is probably my favorite of all of his movies at this point. Even though I like I, Robot a lot. Um, I like Ali. I like Ali like I like Ray,
Hmm.
with Jamie Foxx. And Ali is just so real and it gets me like in that cheering for him mode when I watch the old Bulls. If I watch the old Bulls series, Running of the Bulls, man, I still don't know who won these games until it's over in the DVDs. It's like every time I look at them, it's like I get hyped. My hands start sweating. I'm like, oh God, Jordan is killing everybody.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at Will Smith and Ali. It's like, I know he won that fight. I know he won that fight. And I'm still rooting and he's getting hit. And I'm like, oh, damn. It's like going to the movies when Rocky came out with Carl Weathers. You know,
Hmm.
all the white folks was rooting for Rocky. I was rooting for Carl Weathers. It was crazy. But they're all great movies. I like all of Will Smith stuff. Like I said, Focus is probably my favorite, you know. And I think that dynamic with him and Margot Robbie, that was a good, romantic couple, you know. So I think he could have made a bunch of movies with her,
Yeah.
he could
I
have
feel like
done,
I feel like Focus could have been like a series of movies that they
yeah, it
could
could
have.
have been, yeah. So
Good. Good, Justin. Who wants to go next? Daddy, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. I took a little bit different approach than probably the rest of y'all. I picked a supporting actor, and my guy is Lance Reddick. And Lance, if those folks who don't know who Lance Reddick is, he's gone now, but he is the concierge in all of the John Wick films.
Oh yeah, yeah, my guy.
He's my man. He is so cool, and he is so,
Refined.
yeah, his lines are so crisp. There's nothing wasted. He doesn't stutter through anything. He's straight to the point, and he's all business, and he's so smooth, you know. And when he talks to these people in these movies, he's featured in all five of the John Wick series. And I mean, he's not John Wick, but without him, his character Sharon, none of the John Wick scenes, I think, would have been very effective, especially when John Wick checks into the hotel and he's looking for the manager and he slips him the coin and is the manager present? He's waiting for you in the lounge. You know, he says that and he directs all that energy.
He has the excellence that connects
Yeah.
it. He is the excellence that connects it all.
You look at Lance Reddick's resume, you know, and I think Bobby's a fan of The Wire. He's in The Wire.
Yeah, me too. He's same kind of character as the commander. Same kind of character. He was awesome in that.
Yeah. So you look at that, you look at his resume, he's in a lot of animation type things. You hear his voice behind a lot of does a lot of voiceovers. He started doing what caught my eye is that I caught him years ago. He was doing commercials for, I think, either IBM or something like that. It was one of the commercials for IT. I'm like, man, this guy is so smooth. And he did a commercial like the Old Spice commercials. And I'm like, Lance Reddick. But I think he did a lot in all of those movies. He supported, I think, Keanu Reeves in a way that when his character got killed off in the last one, I think it was John Wick 4. Yeah, when they destroyed the Continental Hotel. When his character got shot, it just shocked me. It took me by surprise that they killed his character off. And then I'm like, man, this series of films could go on like the Bond films if you let them. You know, I think Keanu Reeves is probably gonna die, you know, I don't know, die out, but he's kind of handing that torch off to now into the Ballerina series to other folks that are in the John Wick world, so to speak. But I think with Lance Reddick, when his character got killed off, it was a shocker. And if you look at I think they have a series on Netflix called The Continental, where it all started.
Peacock. It's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock. All of this started with that, man. And one of you guys turned me on to that. And I'm like, holy cow. I looked at it from start to finish.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great series. Great series.
Yeah, it's good.
But the action, I think in the John Wick films, you know, it's all real because he trains with a guy named Taron Butler, and Taron Butler's weapons are all the John Wick weapons. Everything that you see in John Wick's movies it comes from Taron Butler. It's called Taron Tactical. And all of the weapons that he trains with, he does that, and it's all real. I mean, if you look at the scenes in all of these movies, a lot of times, like Will Smith was running, and I'll just throw this out there. Will Smith was running a 1911 pistol, and it's only an 8-shot pistol, but he shot like 15 times with it. You know, but in the John Wick films, they're very conscious of how many times you're going to be shooting with a particular weapon, and it's so accurate, you know, that it's really to the point. But all of those movies that Lance Reddick played in, I mean, if you look at his resume and look at the things that he's done from John Wick 1 to the Ballerina, he appeared after he passed away. He passed away during, I think, the filming of the last John Wick 4. He passed away. they finished his scenes. They wrote his scenes and they finished them out. But he appeared in Ballerina also.
Mhm.
So they did a little look back, excuse me, a look back on things that he was, doing, and they put him in the movie. And they made a tribute to him in the movies. But for my money, man, Lance Reddick is probably the best. The best. I mean, all those movies are action packed, and he does it so well, and he's not overbearing. He doesn't do things over the top, and he's a
Yeah.
supporting actor.
Yeah,
So,
he's like the I guess the calm anchor to all of the craziness and the action that's going on in John Wick
yeah,
movies. Like
yeah.
you get Keanu Reeves shooting and getting thrown out of a window or something, and here he is, the manager is waiting for you.
Yeah.
And then like,
It's
you
just-
know, it's that type of deal. Like he also like is like you said, he's a great voice actor in animations. He actually is one of the biggest stars in one of the biggest PlayStation games that ever come out called Horizon.
yeah.
And like that game, like really, like if you look into that, like that's really one of his biggest accomplishments too, along with the John Wick series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my take. That's my guy. That's my star. Even though he wasn't a star, he was a supporting actor. He gets my vote.
And if you for the Wire fans, he was a key actor in that.
Mhm.
So he was one of the, I think he might have been a sergeant. I can't remember.
Well, he was
Um,
like the commander. He was like
Yeah.
the
he
captain.
ended up being a commander.
He ended up being a commander for a lot of those seasons, and then he ended up, I think, siding with the right. Like doing the right thing, and then the corruption kind of moved him out.
Yeah, no, in like the last season. Yeah, but
And they moved up
he's a powerful actor.
Bunny as a commander, and the same thing happened to him.
Hmm.
I did have a second guy that I was going to kind of highlight, but my guy, Michael Jai White, he was the first Spawn. And I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. Have
I
you
seen
seen that
it.
movie?
I saw Spawn
Yeah.
Is that Spawn?
a long time ago.
But
He's
Michael Jai White, he's in a
Black
series now
Dynamite.
called Trouble
That's
Man.
Black Dynamite right there, though.
Black Dynamite.
What's the name of the cowboy movie that came out last year? Oh
Oh,
man.
you told me about that one.
Oh, I forgot the name of it, but I saw it,
It's
and
with Tony. You talking about with Tony Baker?
no,
It's him and Tony Baker in it.
yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I gotta get that one. It's
I
let me
forget
see.
what it is, but
Listen, I watched
yeah.
it 10 times. It was like a real short release. I watched that
Yeah,
movie like 10 times, and it's so funny. I'm gonna tell you, it's literally Black Dynamite as a cowboy.
I think it's called
And
like Johnny Outlaw or something like
yeah,
that.
Johnny Outlaw. I swear. And in those scenes, those karate scenes, he had like a couple of like scenes with
oh, they're
like
crazy.
guns, and he was smacking the jail guy. They had put him in jail, and then all of a sudden, like he got out of the handcuffs, and then he like pointed his gun at the guy, and he put it back, and then the guy started to pull his gun
It's
out.
Outlaw Johnny Black.
Yeah.
Outlaw
Man.
Johnny Black. I got it. It's on my list.
Oh, that movie is so doggone funny.
But
Anyway, Daddy, I'm sorry to steal your thunder, but that
yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing.
Michael Jai White, he's doing that series called Trouble Man now. It's out, I think, on Paramount or something like that. And that's a good series. He is so diverse in his roles. I looked at him and I'm like, you know, I could have looked at Denzel and all these guys, but Michael Jai White, he's in the comedy, he's in the drama, he's in the action, he's in it all. And I listened to some interviews with him a couple days ago. It's funny you picked this topic to be on, Justin, but I listened to him a couple days ago, and he was talking about Steven Seagal.
Mhm.
He says Steven Seagal can't fight. He just can't fight. He can't fight.
Steven Seagal just uses his hands. It's like, you know,
Yeah, grab your fingers or something.
like, It's like Steven Seagal, he's too big to be thinking like he could fight that well. And it's like it's all stage, it's all acting.
Terrible. It's
Back in the
It's
day,
terrible.
back
so
in back in the
terrible.
day when he was young and skinny, because now he's like old and big, but he still practices karate and he does this stuff or martial arts. And I remember when he was young, and I always used to think it was so funny because he was good. He had the best and quickest hand, but he would run and he would run real slow, and then the train would be moving, and then somehow the part of the train that's falling would blow up, and he would like get onto the other side. I'm like. I ain't never seen him even kick somebody. How is he
He
jumping
never
from one?
uses his legs ever.
No. So, look at Michael J. White.
Oh man, that
He
brother.
would kick the
Oh,
heck out of him. You
well,
know?
when I think of Michael Jai White, I think of was it Blood and Bone? That movie, that
Oh yeah.
martial arts film.
Good.
That
Yeah.
movie was crazy because he was fighting like Kimbo Slice and all
Yeah.
these other guys. It was crazy.
Oh
Kimbo
yeah.
Slice, huh? Well, that's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But he's my honorable mention, and I think he's a multifaceted type of a guy. He does some Tyler Perry stuff too, and you know what?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forget about that. He did
I'm
good.
not a Tyler Perry. I'm sorry for the Tyler Perry folk out there, but I'm not a Tyler Perry fan because every time I watch Tyler Perry, I got to watch it with my wife. And you know what? It kind of gets me in trouble because they get into all kind of stuff. But Michael Jai White, he's in those, and I'm like watching him in these family scenes, and it's so funny. It is so funny. So that's my guy, Michael Jai White. So who's up next?
You can go, Ryan. Or you want me to go?
Hey, it's up to you, man.
All right, I'll go. Okay, I'll
I
go.
can end it with the
Yeah,
best.
I'll go.
End it
I'll
with
go
the
right.
best.
Okay, so my guy that I picked is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh,
Good choice.
And that one was hard for me. And you'll see in a second that I clubbed a bunch of them together because it's like a series of movies. But my first,
I could.
I think, I don't know, I don't know if you guys have seen his most recent movie, but it's a movie
Virtual
called
Machine.
it's called The Smashing Machine.
Yeah,
And you haven't seen that movie yet?
I haven't seen it.
So that movie it's amazing the transformation that The Rock goes through. You can't you can't tell, you forget that it's him, right? He assumes uh the character, right? So he's playing a guy named Mark Kerr, and he's a real life MMA star, one of the original MMA icons, right? And I think this is his most dramatic film to date. I honestly feel like if the what is it called, the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, whoever it is that decides on those big awards, Golden Globe and Oscar, he should get he should get a nomination for this role, right? Is that good what he did to transform into that role? It's a heavy type of film, the stuff that they're talking about. You see the ups and downs that he goes through with his wife, and the early days of MMA. There ain't a whole lot of rules now, but there were even less rules back then when it was first getting started. And he captures it perfectly to me. So I have a lot of movies that I really like of The Rock. I'm gonna put that one at number one right now. So y'all, check it out when you get a chance. But it might be, I think it's available to stream now.
I
Number
think
two,
that
is it? Yeah, yeah. Number two, I'm gonna say is Moana, and that's a shout out to
You ain't got
my
no
daughter.
fighting that because that's
Yeah,
my. I be jamming every time I put that cartoon on the music.
right.
No.
So y'all, I mean, everybody know that The Rock plays Maui, and yeah, that was Layla's favorite movie when she was about, I'd say, 2 years old. I watched it every single day, multiple times. and his song, You're Welcome. I know every word to that song. There's another movie, there's a live action Moana coming out next year, right? Where you'll see him actually transform into Maui. But of course, he played the voice. He did the voice for Maui in Moana Part One and Part Two. Uh, that's one. That's my number two movie.
Well, hold on. What do y'all think about like this might be a little bit of a tangent, but like what do y'all think about like the Disney movies always making like the live reenactments? Y'all think that's even necessary? Because like when I saw the trailer for Moana, I was like, did they need this? It's already kind of iconic on its own already.
I like it.
I
I
like
like
it too.
I like it because it adds another dimension to
Like the Lion King.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't really needed. Like it's like, you kind of
it adds another dimension because you got to think if you're taking it from the animation era to, I mean, the live action is animation, but when you bring people in, it's real people, so it's a blend. I think that it adds another variation, a different level to the screen. Like it brings it to life. Because think about if they did the Lion King live action, I really want that. It would be awesome if they put real people in it. And that would add another dimension. So I think it's good. But in any case, go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I went to see the Lion King here in Houston, and yeah, I mean it's a whole different. It's nothing like the movies or anything like that. It's a whole different, like Ryan said, a whole different feel. Um, it gets the audience more involved too. I mean, it's like they know the scenes basically of what's going to happen in this show, and they anticipate seeing how they're going to unfold, like with the herds coming across the stage, with the different animals and things like that, and how they create that. And it actually takes you away, and you're like in depth, and you see the people behind all of these, costumes. You see them move, but you don't see them move, if that makes any sense.
Oh, you talking about the play.
Yeah, the play.
The plays, yeah, yeah. So I feel the same way about those plays, right?
Yeah.
We've seen Lion King. We've also seen shows like Frozen come to life.
Mhm.
Mm. It makes you think about that story in a little bit different way because they never tell it in the same exact way as what the animated film was, right? See,
Yeah.
sometimes you get a different view and a little bit different perspective. So come to a show with us, Justin, and you'll see.
hey, I'll be
Yeah.
there.
Number three, this is a group of a bunch of movies uh because the Fast and the Furious has about 100 of them things. But
Yeah.
The Rock played Luke Hobbs in
Oh yeah.
Fast Five, Fast and the Furious Six, Furious Seven, The Fate of the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw.
He
I love.
saved that franchise.
Listen.
Yeah.
I loved it when he first came on the scene when they was in Brazil and he was sweating and crazy and jumping through houses and stuff. I was like, see, that was when he had the big old truck. He ain't, I'm a, you know, I'm gonna
Fast
come
Five to
in and get,
me,
I'm gonna beat all, I'm gonna kill all of y'all and take all y'all jail.
Fast Five to
It
me was the
was
best movie of the
it,
series when he
it
first came
was
in.
his character for me was so authentic because you take a crazy like American outlaw brother, who has all of this international power to come into that and try to get these guys, and he's like using it, and he like really believes like he has the American flag on his chest, and he's like going running through Brazil all athletic and crazy with these big old guns, and he's chasing these guys on the buildings and the car scenes. That movie was awesome. It was really authentic, is what I can say. I really believed him
Yeah.
in that. In any case.
Yeah, his performance is really good, and he starts off as their adversary, right? He's trying to catch the crew, right? And then later on in some of these other movies, then he ends up being, their friend and somebody that they could call on and partner up with,
Mhm.
right? And then his dynamic with what's my guy's name in
Vin
uh,
Diesel?
Hobbs and Shaw. No, Hobbs and Shaw.
Jason
Oh,
Statham.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham, yeah. So him going back and forth with Jason Statham, I just
Oh,
love those scenes,
Mm,
right? Because
classic.
those are two powerhouses going at each other.
That's funny.
right.
They're
Yeah.
funny.
So that's my number three. It's like five different movies all in one. But yeah, that's the Fast and the Furious series with The Rock and those. Number four, I'm gonna say Central Intelligence.
That was good.
That one might be questioned a little bit, but he okay, let me tell y'all why. So he plays this character named Bob Stone, and Bob Stone, if y'all remember, he was bullied when he was a little kid, and he was like, he was the one that got picked on. I'll just say that.
Mm.
And then he turned into uh The Rock, right? This huge uh intimidating figure, and I just feel like that's it's a good story, right? Somebody who goes from being picked on in school to somebody who is not gonna be messed with, and it's a funny movie too. That's one, like, I think if I think about it, that might have been one of the first movies that I can remember with The Rock showing his comedy chops. Right,
Mhm.
that dude is hilarious, especially when he working with Kevin Hart
Yeah,
and that
'cause
whole back and forth.
yeah, because they're
Like
good
that one is
friends.
one of my first ones that I remember him
They're
being.
good friends, and they've done those Jumanji movies together, and all, like their whole thing
I
together.
forgot
That movie
about
was,
those.
huh?
I forgot about those movies. All those movies we got. And I'm like, Central Intelligence, the Jumanji movies. I gotta sit down and watch these movies.
Hmm. And so I went back and forth with my number five. My number five was first Jumanji because they did a couple of Jumanji movies, and it's um it's a big ensemble cast, right? There's The Rock and Jack Black and of course Kevin Hart in those Jumanji movies, right? But then Black Adam.
Oh,
I
dude,
feel like Black Adam was the
awesome.
first black superhero movie that I can remember watching.
It was awesome. That movie
I
was
mean,
awesome. Black Panther. Well,
Black Panther,
Black
yeah.
Panther came out
Which
in
one
Black
came
Adam.
first, though?
I think Black Panther came
no
out
Black
first.
Panther
Oh,
came
Black Panther came first. Yeah.
2018,
Okay,
and
okay.
Black
So I
Panther
thought
came
I
out.
could I couldn't remember which one came first,
Yeah,
but
Black Adam came out in 2020, I think, something like that.
Mm.
okay, but uh, let me say it this way: Black Panther aside, this is one of uh, the best black superhero movies that I can remember watching. And he wasn't even a superhero. He was kind of like how you would think of. You remember that movie Hancock
Mhm.
Yeah.
with Will Smith? Right, he's got superpowers and he's a anti-superhero kind of person.
Mhm.
That's how Black Adam was, but his powers were just like incredible in that movie, and it showed it showed me The Rock in a different light, and like, he's an action
Killer.
star.
He
Yeah.
was a killer in that movie. The
Yeah.
opening scene, he killed half the army.
Hmm.
And like I feel like at the end of Black Adam, they introduce uh the movie that I think was supposed to happen was Black Adam versus Superman. Because like in the end credits, I don't know if you realize that Superman came to meet him.
Yeah.
And I think in the comic books, I think Black Adam is supposed to be like the evil Superman or something like that. And
Yeah.
like they go back and forth and like have like a fight or have like a dynamic I guess like the same way like Batman and Superman do. But yeah, I feel like that could have been expanded on where, he fights Superman in a movie, but
Hmm. Yeah, it was just the way that he was so invincible, right? I felt different about that movie than Black Panther. Black Panther hit me in a different type of way.
yeah.
But anyway, that's my list. And then, honorable mention is I got to throw on my TV show Ballers.
Mhm.
Whereas
Yeah.
that
That
show
was
Yeah,
was
that was good.
awesome.
that's a good one.
That show was awesome.
Yeah. I feel
Good
like you
one.
left a
Line of
couple
credits.
good ones off though about
Yeah,
that.
go ahead. Which one did I leave on?
I feel like Walking Tall was a good one.
It's one
I
of his
feel
first.
like yeah, it's one of his first ones, but I feel like it was one of his better ones. I feel like I would probably take honestly, I might take Central Intelligence off and put maybe Walking Tall in there.
Mhm.
Oh man, well, that's yeah.
And but
Is that the one where he
also
was walking around with that two
with
by
the
four?
with the big old 2x4 baseball
I
bat.
think,
He was the cop.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the one.
That's
It
a
was
good movie.
He
it's
was
not
like
good
throwing it everywhere.
central intelligence though, man. Like what?
I
you
like
can't
that
share
movie.
that.
I feel like it's one of his like what's I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like a down, like a real like grounded type of movie, like down south country boy type of movie. But I feel like it's really good. Like it's a really good executed movie. Um, and The Rundown, to me, The Rundown is a great movie and it's
Yeah,
hilarious. Where he's chasing was it I forget Sean William Scott, I think is his name, chasing him all throughout the jungle, him fighting Christopher Walken like in like Brazil somewhere, trying to find this artifact. I feel like that is a great rock movie.
I gotta watch
That
that
is
one. I don't remember that one.
yeah.
oh it's that movie's
It
awesome to
was
me.
What
crazy.
was his profession in that movie, Justin?
He was like a professional like tracker or something like that.
He was a chef.
Oh yeah, he was a guy who like
He's a
yeah.
chef.
But he was like a professional tracker, professional
Yeah,
like slash
yeah.
hitman, but he also wanted to
He was the
uh
mob boss's chef.
he wanted to like open up a restaurant or something and
Yeah.
like like so
You know how much
Oh,
these Brazil nuts cost? You know?
yeah.
really? I thought he was like okay. What? But wasn't he like he used to
He was
be?
like an enforcer.
Yeah, and then he was trying to get away from that life, right? And then he
He was
kind of
trying to make enough money to like open up a restaurant because he loved to cook or something like that.
What was the girl? What was the can't think. She dated Cory Booker.
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson, yeah.
Mm.
She was in the movie. She says, go out in the back and you can get him up off the ground.
Yeah. Well, she's talking about like the Brazil nuts. He was like,
Brazil nuts. It's like $14 a pound.
she said, those fell off the tree in the back, and we don't call them Brazil nuts. You're in Brazil. We just call them nuts or something like that. She
Nuts.
said.
Yeah.
But that was a great movie. I like the
I
rundown.
gotta watch it again. It's
But
been a while.
all right, Ryan, what's your list?
so let me clear my throat. So I think it's clear that the best actor of all time, the most powerful actor of all time, through the generations that we have been alive, is Denzel Washington, of course, right? I think that Denzel Washington has not only set the standard, he grabs your emotion, your attention, your soul is invested every single time he does a movie. Even if you think the movie is, he does so well. You know, even like this last movie they were talking about, it was like, oh yeah, Denzel did a good job with the rest of it. You know, like he's awesome, right? So everything he does, and this is how I translate it, he doesn't really change who he is, right? He's always, even if he's a different character, like he's like some person at a different time, he's so powerful, his personality and his spirit just kind of comes through every single time. Like it's, you know, whether it's Denzel Washington as a black emperor and, you know, Gladiator 2, or as a cowboy, it's Denzel Washington, and he's gonna have the same mannerisms, even if he's talking in old English or not.
Mhm.
Or Macbeth, it's like Denzel. You know, where art thou to us? You know, it's Denzel.
Well, out thou, where's my stuff at, boy? He just,
All
You
right,
know,
all right.
the mannerisms and the, you know, the fingers and the pointing, and I just love that guy. He's amazing. So mine, of course, you know, I think the best movie is it's like the best movie he ever did. My favorite movie of all time is Coming to America. And this is, you know, this is kind of one of those outside top fives for me, but the best movie he ever did was Training Day to me. And the reason being is because he was a crooked cop that had an authenticity about him. He was a killer. He was ruthless. But he was cool, right? And he was training this young guy, real young, fresh off of the in the academy, the ways of the street. and it's different because he's a brother, and he has this white guy coming in, young white guy coming into the hood, and he's trying to show him how to be a cop in the hood in all of these gang related areas. And he's so cool, he's so smooth, and he's showing him the different levels, all of robbing people, killing folks, and he has this family, and he has a kid, and he has this
Family.
yeah, two families. He's just this guy's a very dynamic and very complex person. It was powerful, it was powerful because even Ethan Hawke and his character as Jake he was a really good co-star because Denzel Washington's character and in that movie it was very pronounced, very powerful, and you had to kind of take it. So it was like he's pressing down on him, but he had to kind of be in that role. So then when the power dynamic shifted at the end, you would be able to feel it because it was a lot. They ended up taking Jake and beating Jake up, and he disappeared. And then I think they really meant to like kill him when he was in the home of those gang members. And then Denzel Washington left, and then he got out because then they found out that he saved their niece. That was a huge turning point. So for me, that was an awesome movie. It was really powerful. Malcolm X, of
Hey,
course.
real quick before you move to Malcolm X. So Training Day, did y'all know a little trivia about that? That King Kong scene was ad-libbed.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember hearing something like that.
He
Yeah.
ad-libbed that King Kong scene. And then the other one too is that in that same scene, Terry Crews was in that scene.
Yep.
Before
Yeah.
he started act before, anybody really knew who Terry Crews was. He was just,
Yeah.
dude in the back.
Yeah.
They got on
He's
set.
clearly in the camera.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
okay.
mean, so that was, I mean, and that's one of the most iconic, takes. King Kong ain't got, nothing on me, and expletive, and that was powerful. Like it was powerful. You felt like you were there. He's fighting. He has this hero cop that's like trying to take him to jail that he trained, who used to be his partner, who's like trying to kill him now, and he has the mob after him, and it's just the levels were just everything he does is just so powerful, like you feel it.
Yeah, and I feel
Uh,
like the death scene in Training Day where he got shot up was like that to me still is like one of the craziest like death scenes on camera in an action film.
yeah,
And it's
Like,
it's quick too. It's not
uh,
a long drawn out scene, but it hits you hard.
yeah,
yeah.
it's hard. So the second one is Malcolm X. Of course, I think Malcolm X. Me and him have, I study Malcolm X. If anyone knows me, I study Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, but I have a very, very special sort of thought process as it pertains to Malcolm X because I have a lot of the same belief systems, as far as the African diaspora goes. And I think that, embodying what civil rights, African people, our independence, our education, our uplift, everything that Malcolm X stood for, self-defense. It's very much the vein of how I look at life. I think it's very similar to how my father looks at life. And Denzel Washington embodied this character. If you look at a lot of Malcolm X's speeches and the what he says and how he says it, it was just so on point, right? Through and through, everything was a masterpiece. Even even at the in the ballroom where they assassinated him, um, that scene was so powerful, right? And if you look back at old video of him and just how they mastered it, it was everything was just powerful. It was like, your heart's beating the entire time because you're looking at the different iterations of your people going through a civil rights struggle and this leader that was slain too early, just trying to bring equality to our culture, our heritage, our people. And I think that he embodied it. I mean, and Denzel Washington, I mean, if you listen to him, he's very much so in that same vein, right? He's that sort of guy. He's that sort of person, and is not afraid to tell people on the street, not afraid. Will get in your face. So excellent movie, American Gangster. Um, If anybody knows about, gangster culture, the Prohibition era back when in Harlem, this is during the rise of the Black Renaissance. I just talked about Marcus Garvey, who was essentially the Malcolm X and the Martin Luther King of that era, the Harlem Renaissance, the late 1800s and the early 1920s. Prohibition era, they had Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson came up and was the godfather of Harlem. He was the black gangster who started all these different businesses and did all these different things. But Frank Lucas was his understudy, kind of his underboss, the person that learned from him. And then when Bumpy Johnson passed the torch to Frank Lucas, and Frank Lucas did it a different way. He learned in what he did. He kind of mastered it, and he grew it. And so I think Denzel Washington took that and really embodied that. And a lot of the smooth, slick, just the way that they dress, the businesses that they control, the business minds that they had, the management skill set, the way that it was literally a master class. Like, even though it's drugs, right? It's just crime. This is organized crime. They don't ever tell the stories of like the heights of what our people did, right? It's like you have all of the organized crime. Hey, we still have people that were doing we're successful in different avenues. Not advocating for crime, but what I'm saying is that he showed you that even people back then were successful just like other groups of people, and not even just as successful, more successful, even more successful. So I think my mindset when I was looking at that movie, it's like, it's not just one group of people. Our people had a huge piece of the pie and was controlling industry, was controlling all the industries just like anybody else. So that was a really, really impactful movie to me. The Equalizer series, of course, I think is fantastic. You know, I think it's more one of the more recent movies and one of the more recent series. Denzel is a retired assassin that worked for the government and they're cleaning house, and he's a target. And all three of those movies I group into one. And he's such an organized. He just wants to have a quiet life, doesn't want any issues. He's not diming anybody out, but they're looking to clean house. And so Denzel, he goes back into the skill set and goes into the toolbox and quietly starts to get revenge, against all his enemies and everybody else, at the top, all through all three movies. And he's so like he just has a way of what's that cliche? A steel hand with a soft silk glove or something like that. Is that how it goes? How does that, like, when you have a steel hand and a silk glove? You know what I'm talking about?
A hard head and a soft behind.
Hard head and soft, but you get what I'm
I
saying.
don't know what you're talking about with that one.
Basically,
That's new to me.
The steel
yeah.
glove with a soft touch. Is that
No, no,
what
no.
you're saying?
A steel hand with the silk glove. So essentially showing that you have, like power, but then you can finesse it. So I think in those different movies, he showed like he was always trying to uplift. Either he's helping a damsel in distress, right? Which is kind of the cliche. Oh, I'm down on my luck. Save me, and then he comes and he rescues her and saves her. Or in some of the other movies, a young brother who, is trying to fit, he's a good kid, but he's doesn't really have it, right? He's coming from he just needs some fatherly wisdom. So having the heart, the soft touch and the love to show, whether it's a damsel in distress or a young brother, the right way. And then having that hard hand to be able to come in and eradicate vengeance and show violence against those who try to show violence to him. And I think that he did it in such an organized and powerful way. It hit, and it was just different kinds of movies, right? One was in the middle of the city, then another one was like towards the beach, then another one was like in Italy, and it just was amazing. And the last two, see, I think these two are about the same to me. I did Inside Man and Man on Fire, and Inside Man is a Spike Lee joint. I thought that movie was done absolutely fantastic by Spike Lee. And Denzel Washington plays a detective, and they're trying to figure out, they're trying to figure out how this guy got in here and stole all, to this bank and got and stole all these jewels and did all of this stuff, and he was 100 steps ahead of them the entire time. They never found him, but he got close. And the way that they went about it, just kind of the banter, right? You had this all-star detective and you had this mastermind who just was so good they were never going to catch him anyway. I thought it was amazing. And having a master detective kind of, salute the guy and say, yeah, we weren't going to ever catch this guy, but I'm all about the chase. That was amazing. And then Man on Fire, where, he's a security guard and he's protecting, this wealthy heiress little girl who, he's basically her best friend and he's the security for the family and he's willing to lay his life on the line to protect them and go into hell and high water to, make sure that they're safe, was also impactful. So I think when I look at the movies that he's done, I could have put a whole bunch more in there. I mean, I could have put
Wait,
it.
wait, don't tell us which ones you would do because we watch.
Oh, okay, but those are the ones that really stuck out to me, and that were powerful. And y'all can go ahead and review and let me know what y'all think.
Oh yeah.
All of Denzel's movies. I would have stuck one in there though. I mean, I like Crimson Tide,
Mm,
which is true story.
hmm
Nuclear Sub is out there. Two of my favorite people are in that movie, Gene Hackman and Denzel. But this nuclear sub is out there and it gets these orders to fire a nuclear weapon. And that commander, which is Denzel, refused to do it.
mm,
He did everything in his power to stop it. But yeah, that was a true story.
mm,
Um, a lot of Denzel's movies, I think, are based on true life uh, situations. I really liked American Gangster. Um, that one, I think, showed a lot of the things that Frank Lucas did behind the scenes to even get a drug business empire growing. One scene that really, really stood out in that movie was when he took a trip back to Vietnam.
mhm,
And I think he was negotiating with the North Vietnamese um, people, the enemy, in order to get the drugs to come back. And he put them inside of the coffins of the dead soldiers. So stuff like that, he got the insides on how Frank Lucas handled his operation and he put it to film. I thought was real interesting. So a lot of that stuff, man, intrigues me. I look at a lot of the outtakes and things like that. There's an outtake to that movie where he does an interview with Frank Lucas, who's in a wheelchair now. He was old. He passed away not too long ago. And all of those little secrets. He's just absorbing all this information, before he puts it to film. And I think he did that with Malcolm X and probably all his films. He does that. Probably gets in character and tries to do his best to put a realism to that character and make it really intriguing for the audience. So it's one of my favorites.
So it sounds like you wouldn't change Ryan's list much.
Nah, I think anything that Denzel puts out is like on the list. I mean,
Yeah,
it's on the list.
it's hard to move anything. I think I would move, if anything, um, five. So I would probably take Man on Fire off, even though it was a good movie, and I think Lil Dakota Fanning did a good job in that movie.
Mhm.
Inside Man, I don't know if y'all knew this, but Inside Man, there's a series, or not series, but another remake
Yeah.
of that movie, and
Oh, Most Wanted.
it's called Most Wanted. Yeah, so
Inside Man, Most Wanted.
that's a good one
Yeah.
too. Clive Owen was in the original one with Denzel. I
Yeah.
feel like Denzel could have a second top five, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you some that I really like of his is in addition to all of those that folks might even forgotten about because there's some of them that are a little bit older. There's a movie called Ricochet. Do y'all
Oh
remember?
yeah.
No, I
That
Oh
haven't heard of that.
yes.
That's a great movie. That's
I
young
never heard of that.
Denzel
What
playing.
is that about?
You need
Oh
to
yeah,
watch that. That's like it's a young Denzel playing a cop. He was a police officer in that movie,
yeah.
and the guy from 30 or was it not 30 Rock? I can't remember what's his name. Let me uh John Lithgow.
Oh yeah,
John Lithgow is the bad guy in this movie. There's a scene at the I think towards the very beginning of the movie where Denzel is caught, right? And they have him stripped down, and so he's in this like at gunpoint, stripped down, and in his underwear, in his boxers, and he has his hands behind his back or whatever. I think he had a gun right. Was it stuck behind his neck or so? I can't remember exactly, but he was able to get his gun and subdue the bad guy. He ended up catching John Lithgow. He goes to prison, gets out, and then he's on this revenge tour, right? So it's those two back and forth with each other in that movie, and that's an older one. I thought it's a good one.
yeah.
Another
That movie,
one,
that movie. Let
remember
me
that
back
one?
up on it. That movie, um, it was a conspiracy to frame Denzel in that movie. So somehow they gave him VD in that movie.
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
They gave him VD somehow. I don't know how. Well, you get VD, but um, I don't know how they did it to him. I can't remember the movie if they got
Well,
him drunk.
they drugged them and then injected
Yeah,
them. That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened.
They gave him VD, and he goes back home and he's trying to explain this to his wife and all this stuff, and it just unfolded and unraveled and the whole nine yards. That's a good movie. Older one though.
That's a
The
good one.
death of John Lithgow in that movie. If I remember that movie, he falls off a building and gets stuck in the back with like an antenna on a building or something, and he's hanging over it.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think yeah, yeah. There's
You
a
talking to the movie buff here, son. You talking to the movie buff.
okay. Well, I'll give you another one because I remember watching one of the VHS ones. Virtuosity. Do you remember that movie? It
Oh
wouldn't blow
That
my
yeah.
that
remember
mo that
it
movie
wouldn't
is
blow my top
terrible.
five.
That movie is terrible, but it's like one of those
Parker
guilty pleasures.
Barnes.
It's one of those guilty pleasure movies, but it's a bad movie.
I
Watch.
love Russell Crowe in that movie, and
It's
he was just trying to
That's
kill
what.
Denzel. It didn't
Yes.
matter if he was in the internet; he was coming back to life to kill Parker Barnes. I'm
Well,
gonna
Russell
kill
it's
Crowe
so
was
you.
a
bad that it's great.
He was
Russell
running.
Crowe
He would just
was a computer
he would not
program, right?
stop running. I remember him like running through like the glass to kill Denzel. He hated
Uh,
Denzel. Like he
He
hated
was
like
he was a
God.
computer program. He was like an AI.
He
he
was
feel
was
like
like
an AI
he was
that
like
came to
Siri
life.
Russell
come to
Crowe.
life or something. It was
Right.
crazy.
What's
He
the
turned
movie
bananas.
with Keanu Reeves and Ice-T? It's the same type of movie.
Keanu Reeves and Ice-T.
Johnny Mnemonic. That's the name of the movie. Johnny
Oh,
Like, yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's similar to Virtuosity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so
But
that's not a serious contender for this
no.
top five, but it's one that I remember watching a lot. A serious contender for the top five, and it would I think kick off at least number five and number four. Equalizer and Inside Man would be Glory,
absolutely.
right?
Mm.
And then
Star-studded.
it's
Mhm.
star-studded. Now that's not a Denzel movie, right? Morgan Freeman is in it, and a bunch of other folks are in Glory, but Denzel, I think he might have gotten his first Oscar for that movie, Best Supporting Actor. Super powerful performance. And then last couple, some of my favorites, The Bone Collector, Denzel and
Oh, that was good.
Angelina Jolie.
That was good. I forgot about that movie. That was
Paraplegic.
good.
Yeah, so that one is great.
Oh,
And then I'll throw one more on the list. Well, yeah, I'll throw one more because I'm gonna leave some for everybody else. My last one is Deja Vu.
oh,
Paul Patton. Yeah,
that's when he
it's a
was the
great
cop
movie.
in Miami,
All
right?
right.
Wasn't
Huh?
it?
Yeah.
No, that's when they kept going back and forth in
They
time.
go back in
Yeah,
time. They're able to bend time and go back and relive
that's a great
Oh, that
movie.
was one
the
of my
same scene
favorites.
over and
That was
Yeah,
over.
yeah, because he had so Deja Vu, but then he had another movie called Out of Time when he was a cop in Miami.
Yeah,
with Sanaa Lathan.
Well, yeah, that movie was good too. He got so many movies, man. Like it's
right.
crazy.
But Deja Vu is really good to me because the way that they replay, they bend the time, right? And they
Yeah.
go back in time and then they are able to replay that the explosion on the boat or the
Hmm.
ferry. But it reminded me of this other movie. Y'all ever seen this movie called Vantage Point?
Mm.
No.
I got the movie.
I'm pretty sure you got it. It's about it's
Was it?
about they're over in like Spain somewhere, I think, and there's a political rally. There's a person that's giving a speech. He gets shot, and then that same scene gets replayed over and over and over
Yeah,
again from other people's vantage points.
yeah. That's
Right.
uh that's with Forrest Whitaker's in that movie.
Forrest Whitaker is in that movie. Yep.
And Dennis Quaid, Forrest Whitaker.
hmm
Yeah.
And so that part of in Deja Vu where they keep playing that same scene, but now you're seeing it from a different angle. Now you see a few minutes before the explosion happens on the ferry, but you see it from Paula Patton's perspective, and they're trying to communicate uh, like future self trying to communicate to past self to change events. It's an interesting movie to think through. So as far as like
Oh,
fun to watch and one that I've seen multiple times, I would replace Equalizer on my list with Deja Vu, either Deja Vu or Bone Collector.
yeah,
But
I couldn't do it. Equalizer's too good.
I'm
Here's the
a
thing, though. You know
it's good though. All of
the movie with his son that he made with Christopher Nolan, like that had to be like, well, what's the name when they were going back and forth in time? It
Tenet.
was
Tenet.
what's that?
Tenet.
I
Tenet.
wonder if they based it off of Deja Vu because
oh, and David Washington? Yeah,
Tenet
it's
was man,
good.
that movie was so good.
It's
I don't think it
you
got
gotta
enough
pay
credit.
attention hard with that one though.
Yeah, I don't think it got enough. It got enough credit because when like they held it back and they literally released it right when they had like the first opportunity to release in theaters. Remember, like it came out in 2020, like right in the middle of COVID, mainly like when COVID was just bad. And you can go like you had to. I think they just opened theaters up. It was in that first wave. I don't think it did will really get at the box office, but the movie was
But
amazing.
it's a good movie, but it's not as easy of a watch as like Inception. Right. When you watch
Mm.
Tenet, I had to I just rewatched Tenet
It's
like a
still
couple weeks
confusing a
ago.
little bit. Yeah.
I watched it with ChatGPT. I'm asking a bunch of questions like what happened here?
Yeah.
So it's good once you understand exactly what's going on.
You got to
But
pay attention, man.
Uh,
okay, yeah, I
Here's
wish
it. Let me
like
throw before we actually with Denzel, um, a soldier story. I don't know
okay.
if you remember a soldier story,
never seen it.
but it had um Adolf Caesar was the sergeant, I believe that's his name, Adolf Caesar. Um, David Allen Greer's in this movie. Um, Denzel is in this movie. Powerful. That movie was powerful. And at the end, when they broke him down, when Howard Rollins, he was the JAG officer, this black soldier captain, back when black soldiers couldn't fight the Nazis, comes in and he's trying to investigate this group of black soldiers as to how this sergeant got killed. And they hated this sergeant and they were covering up for everybody. But the most powerful part of that movie was at the end when they found out who murdered that sergeant. And it was Denzel and David Allen Greer, I think, were the two murderers. It was crazy. It was just, I remember Denzel said, "You told it, didn't you?" And he didn't say anything. He was playing one after, one off of the other. And he finally got them, I think, both together. And he started questioning them. And he turned around. He said, "You told him, didn't you?" And that's when they started confessing. Oh man. He said, he stood up and he said, "Take these two black ass soldiers out of here." It was crazy.
That's
That
a
movie
that's a good.
is a classic. You gotta watch it.
I gotta rewatch that one. It's been a long time.
But
I
I got
just
a couple of hold up before you finish, Bobby. I got a couple of Denzel movies that I think y'all could have put in, like Bobby said, like a second top five. He got game.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
yeah.
Man, he
He
got
got
some
game.
dog. Yeah.
Classic movie. To me, Book of Eli is a strong contender for a
Yeah.
second top
Super.
five.
Yeah.
Book of Eli is a great movie. And to
Yeah.
me, one of his more slept on movies. It's a personal favorite of mine. Because I've shown it to my students a bunch of times in class. Because like we read this book called oh, what's the name of that book? I forget the name of the book. But it coincides with this movie called the that he played in called The Hurricane. I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie
He's
Watch
into
it.
where he's a boxer, Reuben Hurricane Carter, and he gets falsely imprisoned for a crime that he didn't commit. And so like that movie to me is like one of his more slept on classics. But yeah, like he got game, Book of Eli, The Hurricane, I think are like some strong contenders for like a second top five. But that's my 2 cents.
Cool.
That's good.
excellent.
Hey,
Excellent.
y'all are some movie buffs.
Yeah.
Hey man, come on now. I got all kind of movies that I haven't. I got so many movies I haven't seen. You know the reason why I got all these movies, right?
Why?
Is because when y'all were babies and you and your mom or me and your mama wanted to go to the movies, we had to take y'all to we had to take y'all. No one wanted to babysit. So we took y'all to the movies, right? And so Bobby was always crying. So I had to take Bobby out in the hallway and buy him some snacks at the concessions and walk him up and down so your mama could watch the movie. And I used to always get free tickets. Come on back, man. He come on back.
You know, see a movie.
Yeah, come on back. You see the movie. And so Ryan was always crying. And so by the time Justin came around, Blockbuster was up and running. So I just went to Blockbuster on Tuesday and rented stuff that I just didn't see anymore.
No.
So when it got to a point where I said, you know what, I ain't going to the movies no more. I'm just going to buy my movies and watch them when I want to. And
What's
so
the
that's
collection at now, dude? What's the amount of movies you got now?
look, it's about
It's got to
3,000.
be 3,000.
3,000. Yeah.
About 3,000. It's
Whew.
Your collection is extensive.
What's that at
Yeah.
25 bucks a pop? What is that?
Let's keep the numbers down.
Oh, wait.
It's
What is
about
over the course of what, 30 years?
2,700.
2,700.
2,700 right now. And the first movie I bought on DVD,
The Eraser.
The
Right.
Eraser.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie
Yep.
because
Arnold Schwarzenegger
it
movie.
was a big deal. I remember Daddy saying, "Yeah, this is gonna revolutionize movies, digital video disc."
Oh man, I bought that thing, boy.
And I remember you putting it on the
First-
shelf in the basement with the next to some
Oh.
Betamax tapes. He was like,
Yeah.
okay, he was proud. He was like, yeah, got my DVD.
And I bought that first machine. It was how much was that machine? I think it was like $1,000 for the first one that I bought.
Mhm.
And man, that thing was I thought it was the bomb. It was the bomb. It took a minute, or it took 5, 6 minutes to load up. I thought that was the bomb. And then the next machine I bought was like about $1,000. It was better, but it wasn't Blu-ray. And then Blu-ray came out. And then I bought a little Blu-ray player. And then high definition HD 4K came out. And I bought the top of the line, player, which is still in here right now. So, you look around this house, I got all these machines, and it's like they're all paperweights now. It's just like computers. It's
Well, stuff has a shift. I mean, I think for me, I noticed a shift in that. Like, I noticed a shift when I was in college, undergraduate, and when I was, God, this had to be about 2006. This is about 2006 when Charter. It was Charter Cable. I think that's what they do in the Midwest. They first did their on-demand thing for free. Like they started doing the movies on demand. And they did a couple of collections of the movies. And this is when Blockbuster started to go down. This is about 20 years ago. And so the Blockbuster started going down and they had all these movies that they were just giving away for $1, $5 you were liquidating. And I remember I started watching more movies on demand. That was the shift, 2006, 2007. And I'm like, why would I even do? Because now the movies are starting to push this whole idea of streaming, right? You start streaming because we have the on demand. It's free on demand, or you can buy instead of renting it. Here's a $5 fee to your cable bill, right? Just do the $5, and I did that, and that caught fire at the time for me, and then it just, one like so. Then I ended up giving away the movie. I think I gave the movies to you. I think I may have gave my collection of movies to you, Daddy. And I was like, you still use that. And so then I kind of just went because it became like I didn't have anywhere to shelf it because I love movies too. I didn't have anywhere to actually put the movies. I'm like, I'm not going to build the space. So then when I came to Texas and moved down here, I mean it was just all online at that point. I remember, I had got my TV and I got my stuff set up with Xfinity and Xfinity had the whole library. And so now it's like, I don't have room for it. I couldn't do it.
Daddy's collection is a museum, and it's it's impressive. I think that's why we love movies so much is because we grew up with. I remember watching movies on Betamax first, and then on VHS, and then DVD, and then Blu-ray.
Dedicated movie night. That was real. Like the dedicated movie night. You remember that? We had a movie night. Mama would get the snacks, and we'll all be in the basement.
Every time Daddy got a new DVD.
And,
I
and
mean,
I-
it was the place to be.
So now, when the girls come over and stuff like that, and I'll bring the girls over, they can watch all of these old movies. I got all of these old animated movies that they can watch that they've never seen before, you know, they can see it in the theater, and it's like their own little mini experience. So,
Mhm.
and especially Miss Soraya, who loves to go in there and get popcorn, calling movie night, and tells me to shut up. You know,
She's
be
watching
quiet.
her show. She's
Be
watching.
quiet. Shh, we're watching a movie. Be quiet.
she be the main one making the most noise.
She
Making the
wants
most
to shh,
noise.
quiet.
You know what she did today?
What's that?
Because I was FaceTiming her and she'll be here tomorrow, but I was FaceTiming her. Shh, Daddy, you being too loud. I'm watching my movie. I'm like, excuse what? Just sit there and watch the movie with me. You know what? I can't take this. Mommy, and then she hands upon her mama.
Well,
I was like, dang, that's cold.
Hilarious.
So when you come down, Bobby, you got to schedule a movie night at home so Layla can go through here and pick a movie that she's probably seen or never seen, you know?
there's a lot of them she hasn't seen. Yeah,
Yeah, and give her an experience and watching a home movie, you know. I pulled a screen down the other day, watching a movie on the screen. Mama looks at me like, oh, geez, I didn't even know that was there still.
Yeah, to show her.
they can see the experience that we had growing up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's wrap up. Hey, for folks who are watching, please comment on, you know, whether or not you agree with the top fives that we ended up landed on for Will Smith, Lance Reddick, Denzel Washington, The Rock. And if you have any favorite actors or actresses with your own top five, we'd love to hear about that. Share, subscribe, and we will catch you on the next Walk Around Table.
Right.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, we'll see you.
God bless.